Hello and welcome to the NXT review. I'm Michael Sidgwick, joined by fellow Dudley boy Michael Hamflett to discuss everything that went down on last night's show. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure to subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for daily wrestling podcasts where we preview and review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have wrestler interviews on occasion. Some great ones over WrestleMania weekend are filtering through as we speak. We have roundtable discussions, if I've not said that already. We answer your burning questions. Burning. And we host a roundup of the week complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. I was on it last week. We were understaffed.
I liked it. It reminded me of, because I came in for the second half of it, and there was like your tequila bottle on the table. It reminded that time when like Rhino was a pissed Santa on Talking Smack. The business, am I right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of how I feel about this NXT. I wish I was drunken.
Yeah.
It'd be easy to get through. It would be easy to drink through it, to watch it, be easy to drink through it, to talk about it. What are your broad thoughts before we get to this broad wrestling show?
My broad thoughts were it stunk, it was ass.
Yeah.
Like, my God, right. What time are we recording this? What time is on your little laptop?
2:45.
Right, okay. If I recorded this, if I hit record the second it finishes, you could say, right, okay, well, the first match and then the second match, I wouldn't remember, right? The action is so generic, so, like, the same all the time. Similar moves, same pace. Similar moves, same pace. I honestly believe that I could do a live stream of this program and not remember what I saw 5 seconds. If it was like, if it was like, all right, okay, well, it's delayed 5 seconds. What just happened? It is the most drift-offable show ever conceived.
I don't disagree.
Some of this was actively bad as well.
I was relieved.
Not just generic, actually terrible.
Like, I realised by the time we were heading towards like main event City Jones, if not the main event itself, I was relieved that this had been, relatively speaking for NXT, quite low in terms of quantity of matches. There was like 5 or something as opposed to normal 18.
None of them were long.
No. It was segment heavy. They're obviously doing lots of build-up for Battleground.
You're grounded. Battlegrounded. But mom!
That's really good.
You should do it.
You should do it. You should. But yeah, this was I was going to say this is low on action. It's always low on action.
Yeah, it's always
low on
high on action.
Too.
Never high on it.
But I feel like, not that I want to be kind to it, but the first match. So we start, sorry, I should just say, right, we start with the people arriving. They were trying to create the sense of occasion, as they do now with the WWE shows.
Every week.
NQCC, Oba Femi and Joe Hendry, and then Ricky Saints.
Joe Hendry.
And Ricky Saints gets out the car. And he's headed to the ring. That one's live. The others were earlier in the day because he's coming out to commentate on the first match, which is Javon Evans, Shawn Legacy, and Ashante the Adonis in a #1 contenders match for the North American title. I'm not going to go move for move here for 2 reasons. 1, I'm never as good as Myles Borne. He is the master of this. Mm-hmm. But 2, even he sometimes looks upon, and let's be real here, a Dynamite match.
A Young Bucks match.
And just goes, I'm going to miss so much here and I'm not going to do it justice. And in the defense of these 3, I sort of admired their attempt to bring craft to the, right, how many spots can involve all 3 of us? This was clearly something they worked at.
Bit of flu.
Yeah.
Try to get the flu.
Yeah, they tried as often as possible because for those that obviously hadn't seen, like Shawn Legacy had a bit of a breakout performance in the Battle Royal. Javon Evans at this point is known for this type of work. And Ashante the Adonis has kind of been left to rot.
And he was there.
Well, he was there, like doing this shagger character, but he at very least thought, right, I can be the base for this and I occasionally contribute with things myself.
I hope the girl during the entrance was a plant.
Me too. Like,
so he does this like Nikita Lyons-esque entrance to the ring, and it's like doing a million different emotes. And
there's loads of it. Like,
and then he goes to none of them are fans. They're all just friends and family.
Yeah.
But he goes up to one in the audience, does the kiss me on the cheek, and then when the lips go in, kiss on the lips. I hope that was a plant in a plant spot.
Yeah. It's not on really.
No, it's not on at all.
But that's his deal still. He's still the shagger. And he was there mostly to be the third guy out there, like between the two kind of competing Spotfest wrestlers in Jordynne Evans and Shawn Legacy. So yeah, it's a load of, it's basically a load of mega rapid fire strikes where the three of them are trying to counter and catch and then kick. They're trying to dodge stuff. Dodge, dip, and dive, because then, like, all of a sudden,
literally,
like, there'll be two on the floor and one will dive out. That's pretty much where we get our first NXT rolls on. There's a point, like, Jordynne Evans, like, just drills Ashante the Adonis, it was, with this massive strike that sends him onto the apron. Then Jordynne goes for him, but ends up sliding to the floor, pulls Ashante to the floor, and then goes back in and dives onto both Shawn Legacy and Ashante the Adonis, and that's like, oh, NXT's going nuts, we're rolling on. And Ricky Starks is like, wow, like, can't wait to fight any of these.
Before I forget, the mention of Ricky Saints, who cares? I don't anymore. Ricky Saints and Booker T's interaction at the start of the show was phenomenally awkward.
Oh God, really weird. Where like Booker T was like, yeah, I said you stink. You dress nice tonight. And Ricky Saints like, yeah, we're cool now, right? Like, you didn't even like my glasses.
Yeah. You didn't even like my glasses.
There seems to be like some water under the bridge. Like, they had to have like a stern handshake backstage.
Booker T to this, everyone?
Yeah, it's everybody. He's so hate-filled.
Yeah, he's filled with hate.
Vic's the only one that's figured him out, I think.
Yeah,
even Gravy, they're not.
Gravy.
They're still kind of...
Gravy.
So yeah, we come back from the break, and at this point, Ashante the Adonis is in a bit of control. Hits a pretty cool spine buster on Jordynne Evans onto Shawn Legacy and doesn't hold back, just absolutely pancakes the pair of them. Ashante goes for a super kick. Shawn Legacy is the one to catch it, and then Jordynne Evans, while they're kind of frozen, manages to get them both. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot.
A load of stuff. Empty calories stuff. Crowd's going absolutely banana for it. So like, it's going down well there. Like, it's not, how can I be nice about this while being fair? It all connects. Like, it's not like lightweight stuff. They are actually hitting each other. They are connecting. But
not really, it is fake.
But nobody's selling. And I don't want to be that guy.
Be the guy.
Nobody is selling. There's no sense of...
Not even one of those... I like it with a cheeky delayed sell.
Yeah.
Which the Young Bucks are great at this. Like, get your stuff in, a lot of it at warp speed, and then, oh God, I'm actually tired after all that, and I'm hurty. Let's have a little lie down and go again.
I think you like these matches more than me typically, right?
Yeah,
but
not this one.
This went about like 13, 14 minutes something, and they were all at sprint pace the entire time. I'll give them that. Like, at no point did this slow.
Good engines.
Good engines. I'll get to the finish first. Yeah. So like, basically,
quite important. I'll forget it tomorrow.
There's a point at which like Ashante the Adonis feels like he's got both of them beat, but he's frustrated. He can't get the cover. So then there's him and Jordynne Evans that kind of fire off. They're already doing the exhausted, like punching each other's spot. And Ashante's like running his mouth, and then Jordynne Evans out of nowhere pops up with a massive kick. There's a super kick and a cover. Shawn Legacy breaks the cover up with a 450. That has got people going absolutely nuts. And like, Legacy's like really starting to feel it's like, this is my opportunity, the underdog thing. He charges, he does like a running charge at Ashante, and then Jordynne Evans appears as if from nowhere with a cutter, another like enormous pop. So they're doing like a bunch of 2 counts. There's a massive frog splash on Jordynne Evans from Jordynne Evans on Shawn Legacy that gets another 2 count. Then, as it's all breaking down in the ring, while there's like this cool sense of chaos, everyone's whipped up into a frenzy. The frenzy then moves to the floor because Ethan Page appears at the commentary table and attacks Ricky Saints, and them two are getting separated. So you got madness in the ring, madness on the floor. At this point, like, Jordynne Evans dives onto the pile of people on the ground. Ashante the Adonis spies his opportunity with Jordynne Evans out there, but Shawn Legacy manages to catch Ashante coming off the ropes, hits him with it's like a torture rack into a Death Valley driver, like into a crossroads. Well, 3 or 4 moves all at once, performance-centery stuff, but beats him, gets the win, big pop. It's like a bit of an upset. It's kind of the same thing what we talked about with Myles Borne getting Oba Femi. We'll find out later where this North American title stuff goes. Ugh. But they've committed to a couple of guys now this month that this men's division desperately needed. Desperately needed. So this is what I mean. I've kind of got a little bit of praise for the booking, and I can't fault the work. I didn't love the match.
Yeah, nor me. Put on my critical thought cap.
Like Danhausen's big one.
They have addressed the issue of the incredibly boring. Are you taking the piss with how dull this is, men's division, by promoting Myles Borne legacy, Shawn legacy?
Yeah.
Thank you.
More of this.
More of this.
Desperately more of this.
Desperately need some, like an injection of something new. Other critical thought is...
I love how you corrected yourself to do the
bit, even though we
don't
do bits, of course, is that I appreciated the sequencing and the flow in that. Right, I've just done a move on this opponent. There's another one outside the ring. Okay, there's another, so I'm going to have to do a dive to the outside, scramble back in, and then that gets saved. But the camera work was decent enough to obscure the saves.
Yeah. Yes, somebody is flying as if from nowhere.
Yeah.
A couple of them,
The odd time you see Legacy's head do the old yeah, right?
Not yet, mate.
I was going to save someone. Save my chances in the match for anything. Not yet, yeah. So
you see them waiting.
So that happened. There's nothing new under the sun. And because this style is so now mundane and everywhere, and we've been through this, and we've relitigated it over and over again, I know it's not subgenres of it, I guess, but it's not too dissimilar to what Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay got over by doing.
Yeah.
Those guys are so goddamn incredible that I can't sanction a version of this match.
Evans and Legacy are young as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But like, I saw Action Andretti doing this on Collision, and he could go on every single show in descending reverse chronological order and go, I saw this kind of match on that show, on this show, and then that one, and then that one, and then that. These matches have to be nothing short of spectacular for me to get anything out of them. This was good. I've seen it a million times. This was good. I've seen it 1 million times. I felt nothing. And again, I'm with you. It's like, slow down. Grab a hold. Like, there was no emotion to this whatsoever. Yeah. There was no struggle to it. And that's kind of inherent.
Other than Shawn Legacy winning, I would say.
Yeah. I like that. But I did clarify that at the start of the take.
We praised it once.
Yeah. Just, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this and feel anything. I can't. It's like, what? It has to be amazing for me to feel anything for it. And this wasn't amazing. It was merely well done, if a little bit much.
I think as well, I'm going to assume it for Shawn Legacy because I got to experience it with Javon Evans. There is definitely...
He's just a good Action Andretti.
Well, yeah.
Not that Action Andretti's bad, but what's the difference? What is the difference fundamentally?
Well, so there was a real... I really got something seeing John. You know, when I talk about Samoa Joe, one of the best live wrestlers ever, timeless live wrestler. And that's why I get it in the buildings when the responses still come up for it. I got that out of Javon Evans. It really felt different. I was like, I've never seen a guy like that.
I got that fabled, this is spectacular feeling during the Battle Royal the other week.
Yeah, it does. Like, nothing like that translates in this building. This match would have even gone better.
The Battle Royal was good.
Yeah, well, but like the Javon Evans type match, this 3-way, had it been on Battleground, I think the venue elevates it. This NXT Performance Center venue.
It's a good job they've been running for 5 years.
They'll do out for out in this building, won't they? Like, it takes so much for a match to sort of pop that.
And like, you know, this Shawn Legacy fella, he's Action Andretti. He's that sort of like 18th generation of this sort of thing. And like somewhere along the way, the point has been lost. The point has been lost and the quality ceiling has been reached. So what I do to ask myself, literally what we're still doing here. So you go from what? Grand Hamada, Tiger Mask, Dynamite Kid, Jerry Lynn, Waltman, Rob Van Dam, Styles, Omega, Ospreay, that lineage.
Yeah.
We've peaked with that lineage. We have reached transcendence in 2018 with that lineage. Everything thereafter if you can, like the Omegas, the Bucks, the Ospreys, they can just about reach their own levels. No one else is coming close to their best. I can't watch this and go, whoa, what a high spot. Whoa, what a high spot. Like, can we do some brawling, please? I don't want to be one of these, ball-knowing wankers on Twitter, but I need something refreshing in wrestling style. Yeah,
it wouldn't be the worst thing if that would, like, not Shawn Legacy particular, but if that was the standout trait of a new pushed wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, we might see that actually because
no, we won't. Not yeah.
Well, we go backstage.
That's not a good segue.
The Evolve. Well, yeah, we go to the Evolve general manager Stevie Turner, who is with Ava. She hasn't got a surname. She's Rockstar and general manager of NXT. Stevie Turner is really pleased with Shawn Legacy's win, while Ava asks
one of our own from Evolve.
I'm so pleased that he did well from Evolve.
Yes. What was that?
Ava sends Stevie Turner and Robert Stone to deal with the brawl for some reason, still taking place between Ricky Sayers and Ethan Page.
Stevie Turner and who?
Stevie Turner and
Robert Stone.
So they dart off out of one door and then in through the other door. Is Tyra May Steele and Jasper Troy, the winners of LFG.
Oh, yeah. Steele's good.
Yeah. We liked her straight away. She could kick the Deadman's ass. That much was clear last week. They're going to make the debuts in the next few weeks. She gets them to sign the contracts there and then.
Who was the one where she just don't turn heel mid-match on the first episode of LFG?
Oh, who was that?
Can't remember.
Never gonna.
Bubba, look at this.
She knows what she's doing.
She would have here. I didn't see that coming.
Bury her. It's like Taz getting a pop in Madison Square Garden. Cut her legs off.
Actually, now that I come to think of it, who the hell do you think you is?
Cutting a promo like you think you'd kick out of a tombstone. Like to see you try.
Go on, kid, impress me. Cut a promo. Impressive promo. Who do you think you is now?
Get in there, we're doing drills. He's just getting in the ring, start doing squats. Not those kind of drills. Start rolling sideways for when I push you into the casket. They're both really excited to wrestle. Tyra May's just buzzing to be on NXT.
I love a surprise Deadman.
Yeah, you just never know when he's going to pop up here. That's what you get these days. He's just always on NXT with his little wallet chain.
What's he doing?
Can I do something on TV, Shawn? $500 up front, you understand? I took a bath on those goddamn property portfolios that Sting told me to get. Jesus Christ. Had to sell the pool slide.
I lost my ass.
Shouldn't have taken business advice off Kane. Kane and Valvina sold me out to that damn river. They're both really excited.
That's why I'm doing videos for all of these Scooby-Doo. God damn it.
Hey, Shawn Hunter, need any cameos doing? Stars of the Attitude Era. Starting me and Bubba.
He needs to have some dignity, doesn't he?
He does like. They're both really excited, but Troy, more excited in a serious way, says he's going to make an impact tonight.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. We then go to, I'm going to put these two together because I think this is the best thing on the whole show. We got a vignette with Jordynne Grace. It was a gym vignette where she was just working out doing really cool weightlifter stuff and just lays out how her, Stephanie and Julia were considered the best free agents in all of women's wrestling, and then they all appeared in NXT. Julia won the belt first, but now Stephanie and Jordynne have both beaten Julia. So there can only be one champion, and Jordynne Grace basically says, it's going to be me. I've dominated TNA, and I'm ready to dominate NXT. You escaped your title once, but it's not going to happen again. Later on, we get a Stephanie Vaquer sit-down interview where she kind of recaps like all the hard yards, basically. She'd worked in Mexico and Japan, sleeping on floors and working late into the night and all that sort of stuff. Talked about how she got a WWE tryout in 2018, but she wasn't ready. That was why she realised she had to go on the journey first. She's been impressed that Jordynne has conquered TNA, but Stephanie Vaquer has conquered everywhere else. She's been to hell, Sidge, which I assume she means Forbidden Door 2024, and now she's out. That's where the devil stuff comes. I don't know, she's having a bit of fun. It's the abyss, isn't it? She's been to hell. What she was really getting at was all the horns and all that. And she's the best and tough. sorry, Jordan, you're not going to achieve dreams.
Tough titties.
I'm going to beat you at Battleground. They were kind of talking this up as the main event. And we did an AEW preview, which I would welcome you to listen to, about these Owen Hart Cup finals, where I said both wrestlers in both tournament finals are kind of arguing over being the best. And I got this as well. This is, people love that Brock SummerSlam 2003.
I liked it a great deal.
I'm the best. Well,
it's one of those weird Fed things that's great that you don't like very much.
I like it, but it was this.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm the best because of this reason. Well, I'm the best because of this reason, and actually I think that means the best. Well, we have different views on the best. We're going to have a wrestling match to determine it.
Yeah.
I think that's what they've done here, and they're probably the right women to do it with as well.
This is weird. It's meant to be cinema, isn't it? Where's the story? I thought this was good stuff, and I think the match should be excellent.
Yeah.
And Jordynne Grace is... we don't want to throw wild accusations around, but a little bit maybe over-enthusiastic in the ring at times, which can lead to some drama that you might not intend.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that again.
People falling on their heads.
Right on the neck.
And then kind of having it like all right, you can hit me back as hard as you want because they're and then it's really, well, I mean, they're competing with another major title match on the Battleground show. And based on this episode, there's only one winner. Lola Vice is up next. She's not. That was later on the show. I've got my Stephanie Vaquer, but where are we up to? That's where we're up to. The Trick Williams rap. Obviously, the show was sold on Trick Williams doing a rap and Joe Hendry doing one of his little songs, and we get Trick's first. He starts like backstage with the microphone.
This is real great stuff for 10 seconds, this.
Real great stuff.
I know I delivered it in such a way. I'm not taking the piss. This is real good for 10 seconds.
Which is bad, because I forgot to write down all the real good bits. But there's like a couple of times, he just gets a couple of like quite nasty lines on Joe before he has to start rapping to a beat.
Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it?
So he comes out, microphone in hand, like he emerges from like a side thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, I can't do him justice. Like Trick not rapping, doing a promo is amazing, and it always will be. Says, I'm the kind of guy people break their necks to see. Joe, you're the kind of guy who'll break their neck to get people to see you.
That's pretty cool. That's a
You
good
look
line.
like a Teletubby with a blonde wig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is awesome. This is awesome. Trick Williams rules. Then he raps.
Then a tune starts playing and he has to rap along to it, and like he stumbo bumbos his lines. And to be absolutely fair to him, there seems to be like a lot of lines. So he's obviously trying to remember stuff, and he just has to stop and just wait for the get back to the point in the song where he can start singing along. And his whole deal is average Joe, basically. His mom said people like you were just average Joe, and he was getting there. Like the crowd NXT, they were like repeating it along with him at least. The average Joe thing.
Chorus had a hook.
Got a bit of traction, didn't it, in the building?
But then the verses.
Not the verses so much. And yeah,
I couldn't understand a word he was saying.
It was really, we watched this back in the office, and I just, as I put it to Murray, I think it was, like, this man is like a 4.5, 4 3/4 star babyface. Don't ask me any more questions about that. Don't ask for another bullet point, but he is a 4 3/4 star babyface. And that appears to be the one thing they're not letting him do. It's just matches, heel promos, and snarling. How have they fumbled Trick Williams this bad?
Hickenbottom fumble.
Shawnee fumble.
Shawnee, that's better after the blue Trick Williams there. And a bit of a meta commentary on how awkward this rap was.
You meant it. That was good.
Indeed. Hickenbottom fumble. Hackenbottom, more like.
That is good.
I wrote an article, so I would hope so.
Hacking bottom of the barrel. We just keep extending it. Yeah.
Look, there are the verses. I'm a very, very casual fan of hip hop, right?
The mythical casual fan.
Yeah, I like about 10 hip hop artists. Okay. It's just like I don't really have a preferred genre. I like a bit of everything, me. But I actually do. That's the difference.
I'm sorry, but as a bit, I'm just thinking you saying that you're only like sort of a little bit of a hip hop fan. Does that mean you're like a hip, or you're the hop kind of guy?
Which half
of
it? No, I'm hips. I must be a hop, so. But there's a song. Adam Nicholas will love this, right? Backseat Freestyle, Kendrick Lamar from Good Kid, Mad City. And I don't know the technical term, but the whole point of the song is like it's him rapping as his like 15-year-old self, where he's like just ingesting all this hip hop culture and he wants to run the world and all the rest of it. And it's like all these like huge hip hop fantasies in one song. And it's ridiculous, but he kind of gets away with it because he's rapping as a 15-year-old, the 15-year-old version of himself. And like he does this, and then he goes, is it like double time, triple time?
I want to say it's nearly triple time. If it's not,
so it goes
pretty close.
like just like and then he goes double time, and then he goes triple time. It's like, jeez, it's a face melter, right? The second that trick does double time, I think it's like it completely falls apart. Yeah. You can't even hear what he's saying. Like the mic's nowhere near his face. It's pretty disastrous. It's pretty disastrous.
He sort of smiles apologetically down the lens when he stumbo bumbos. That's fine. Like he's a wrestler, and I know you got to cut promos, but this isn't. Yeah, hat on a hat, isn't it? Aye. So yeah, that's him, and we'll get the Joe Hendry response later on in the show. Josh Briggs is going to face Shawn Spears tonight, but beforehand, he's interviewed about having to go solo since Inamura's gone back to Japan, and you would think this was like the 1980s, and like he's got a.
Be good if it were in the 1980s.
Send him a letter via homing pigeon. I just miss him so much. What's happened?
WhatsApp.
Video call.
Yeah.
Go to Japan.
Yeah.
You did before. That's where you met. It's like, why can't he come back? Like he's crestfallen. Like there's no hope for Josh Briggs. So
I miss you so damn much.
It's I think this is great LTST because if you remember when him and Jensen first broke up, it was like, Jensen, get the hell over it, you loser. And now he's learning for himself that sense of loss. Wouldn't it have been nice if they'd actually focused upon that once in this dreadfully boring match that followed? Because he takes on Shawn Spears. Can I just shock you, Sidge? This match went a mere 5 minutes and 27 seconds.
Felt like
it was longer than WrestleMania 12, mate.
Yeah.
So it starts off with like Briggs overpowering Shawn Spears. He's got the size advantage. They're culling a patrolling the floor, but like Shawn Spears is like he's luring him in. That's the kind of guy he is. He's a lurer. So like Briggs goes for a power move too much while on the outside. And then Spears is able to slide off of Briggs' shoulder and push him into the ring post, and then we go back into the ring where Spears has now got total boring control. He hits some stomps, he hits some knee strikes, he does some very, very functional player coach adjacent wrestling. You absolutely like to see it. It's real solid stuff. So he's working him. It's kind of like neck and back stuff, and even a commentator soundboard. But eventually, Briggs is able to kind of come back into the match. He gets him in like the choke, and Spears is doing it. No, please don't. But he's lured him again. He's a lurer. And he's lured him into an arm drag just in case you weren't bored enough. Briggs gets sort of clotheslined over the top, but he tries to get back in the ring, but like Spears catches him with a super kick. Spears leaps off the apron onto Briggs in a like when the match threatens to get exciting. Don't worry, it doesn't. Briggs just catches him and like drops him face first onto the commentator's table, rolls him
face
back.
Face
first.
What is that? I know what face first is.
It's
Face Firth, was that?
Yeah, it's Colin Firth.
Colin's Firth brother.
Well, yes, that's right. It's Colin's Firth's baby-faced brother. He rolls him back into the ring. Is that anything? And Nico Vance runs distraction, so Izzy Dame can hit Briggs with a kick, and Spears gets a roll-up that looks like crepe for the win.
It looks like crepe, actually.
After the match, the Cullen, so Spears is like, oh no, please don't. So Briggs goes to attack him. The Cullen get the numbers advantage on Briggs, and then Hanky Tank made the save, and it's presumably setting up a 6-man for next week. I want to pick up the only thing that I cared about in this match.
I can't remember anything.
NXT did not care about, which is how Brooks Jensen, who wasn't terribly involved in the interference, that I thought was going to be Josh Briggs is realising that maybe friendship really matters in this world. And Brooks Jensen is going to look upon him and be like, have a little shred of sympathy for Josh Briggs from their time together. And it's just 3-on-1 beatdown. And just I had no sense of attempting to tie those things together whatsoever. And then, we're going to get the Hank and Tank 6-man. This is bad.
This is bad, and it's not bad. It's just so... Well, it is bad because really boring's bad. This is really boring. If Shawn Spears was a musician, he would be doing a very, 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 very adequate Travis at open mic night. Bitch.
I was going to say, so was somebody in the main event segment. So, Kelani is...
I'm going to be nicer than you.
Good. Somebody should. I haven't seen any of it online. Kelani Jordynne is backstage, and she wants to clarify off Sol Ruka that if she beats Zaria tonight, her good friend Zaria, her very good friend Zaria, that she gets a title shot at Battleground. To which Sol says, yep, of course you do. Don't think you're going to, though. And Zaria says, yeah, well, Sol Ruka's my best friend. Like, she's a woman of a word, but you've not got it to worry about because she's not going to beat me. Whoa. And then they're going to have their match. We see the new Chase U, Uriah Connors and Cale Dixon. There with Andre Chase. He's like, oh, I'm not so keen on this match, but they're heading out of the match. But before we get to the match, we see Tatum Paxley backstage. She's still sad because all her friends have gone and nobody can talk about why.
Why not talk about it at all? Just rebrand her as someone who isn't.
Just like,
why rebrand her as someone who isn't a spooky person? Because spooky people never get over. Poor Wendy Chu.
Stuck on Evolve.
Aye.
Still doing it. Still doing Sleepy Zombie.
She was my Ying. She escaped that. She was Wendy Chu. That got a little bit of something. All right, you're going to be spooky Wendy Chu. It's like, how do I escape this? Joe Gacy, spooky.
Yeah.
And now he's not on TV.
No.
So if you're Tatum Paxley, like, God, can I just have...
We rewatched Joe Gacy, didn't we? Pushing Bron Breakker off that balcony into the maw of the flesh-eating druids.
Yes.
Back when this used to be a business.
And I did a write-up on that. 50 worst wrestling moments of the 2020s so far. Imminent. It is imminent now. All the copy's done. I've proofed it. I'm just making it site ready.
Can't wait to read it. I'm looking forward to that. Thea Hale comes up to Tatum Paxley after their match last week, obviously, where Tatum Paxley lost it a bit and was going for Thea's eye. She's got an eye patch on. She's like, what was last week about? I mean, if you just watch the show, you'd clearly see Tatum Paxley sad about all her friends being released and they can't talk about it. Thea's like, don't worry, you'll bounce back. And Tatum says, Thea, you don't understand what it means to lose everybody. Like, we know that that's not the case. Yeah. Thea lost everybody in Chase U, even though they just relaunched it and not asked her to come back.
Thea graduated.
Yes. Agree, disagree.
Not really. She got expelled.
Expulsion.
Expulsion.
Full expulsion. I don't think she even did, though. They just closed
did they call it? You don't... Expelled, I think.
Expelled.
I was trying to think of what Skinner would threaten Bart with.
Yeah. He threatened him with expulsion, but then you can't get expelled.
No, you get expelled.
Sounds like something that Sean Spears would do before he brings you into his cult.
Yeah.
I'm ready to expel you. Hi, this was good, but actually. So, like, Thea's like, despite all that, like, I'll help you if you want. And then, like, Jada Parker runs in with an ace attack, just, like, drills it like a backstage ace attack, like, fires Thea into a crate with her ace. And, like, Thea says, maybe she should worry about herself. And then Jada Parker looks over to Tatum and says, I understand what you're going through. And Tatum's like, really? And Jada's like, nah, F off, and just leaves. Ass attack, F off. I still think there's something with this. Still fighting for this Jada Parker title. I like Jada Parker. So yeah, that does take us to the new Chase U. Worse than ever.
Want to get my thoughts on the backstage?
Sorry,
stuff?
yes, please.
I don't have any.
Okay, that's I like that bit. It's pretty good. I wonder if you'll have any thoughts on this. I fear not. Chase U versus OTM. This is Lucian Price and Bronco Nima kind of coming back and being presented as more dominant now. They're going again with OTM. And they're going again with Chase U, but they're not really.
Well, they are, man. Think about the long view.
I know. This match is not much, really.
Some hard-hitting stuff down from OTM. I liked it.
OTM have been kind of repackaged as like these ace kickers, and at the moment, Chase U, Dixon and Connors are there to take an ace.
Dixon and Connors.
Now, that was a time. So, like, Dixon and Connors having to take, like, shortcuts and cheap shots, and it'll cut to Andre Chase, and he's like, I don't feel great about this. Like, but it's all they've got. It's the only chance they've got. Ultimately, yeah, like, as you say, Price and Nima just keep like blowing through them both with all these big power moves. In the end, they get that, like, double spine buster. It's a kind of like glorified squash for OTM.
Slaughter!
And all Chase U have done to get any advantage was, like, do stuff behind the ref's back, and Andre Chase doesn't seem thrilled with this new incarnation. You've got a long view for this new Chase U.
Yeah, man. So OTM, they look like total badasses.
They're next in line for tag titles.
Like a nice little bit of brutality, I thought, at various points in this match. Went on a bit long, even for a squash. Chase U, man, I'm telling you now, they're going to suck ass.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get slaughtered in matches like this, and then they're going to not sell it and go and party, and then Andre Chase is going to go, God damn it, you need to stop sucking co-ed titties all the goddamn time. Study up. Stop eating co-ed beaver every goddamn Saturday night.
Saturday night at the Kegers.
Stop eating beaver at the Kegers on a Saturday night all the time. Stop motorboating co-ed titties. Huh? Knuckle down, study tape, and start winning matches because you need to get your CPA up. Your chase point average, and then you're going to see it, and then it's going to go up to 4, and then at 4 title shot in about 18 months. Take your time, just sweat those onions off, you know.
And then right when they get the title shot, Ridge Holland's like, "When did you bloody open this back up again?" and just spoil it all.
Yeah.
Just as we start to actually like. So I like
your chow and clam every Friday night.
Start chow and clam at the Kegel. It's Myles Borne and Oba Femi next. I like this.
God, get that bush out your teeth. Knuckle down, goddamn.
got a pube on your face. Chase pube. You gotta stop chasing ass.
Yeah. Chasing
You want to chase
ass.
It's called chase you, not chase ass.
Get your head in the goddamn game. What the hell was that out there? Sorry, I was too busy chasing ass.
It's world title build-up stuff. Oba Femi notes that Myles Borne has come to the ring by himself for this rather than with the NQCC, and he says, what is it? Like, are you stupid or are you brave? Maybe it's a combination of the two, and maybe that's how you won the Battle Royal in the first place. It's not, Myles Borne says, I'm not just fighting to win your title. Like, they're with me, they're supporting me, but I've come to do this alone because I'm never going to be alone anymore. I'm fighting for everybody I'm trying to represent. It obviously references the amazing promo he cut last week. He's partially deaf, and he's like talking about the kids and the parents and anybody that kind of feels like they can't in life because of the disabilities, well, they can, and I'm proof and all this sort of stuff. Femi notes that's really admirable, but you're misleading these people. Life is cruel, and good things just don't happen to good people. You're a good person, but you're living in a Disney movie if you think you're going to beat me and take my title and run off into the sunset. Your dream was a couple of weeks ago, and the dream dies when you're in the ring with the ruler. But if you want to be tracked like everybody else, I'm more than happy to do that, so you can join the line of victims that I've laid waste to over this time as champion. Borne reiterates, he says, I've got the NQCC helping me train. I've got all of this community with me, a bunch of people that don't fit in, and you're not the first person to tell me I can't do it. Like, every amateur coach, everybody told me I'd like schoolboy, all that sort of thing. Even doctors said I couldn't do it. Even some coaches here in NXT at my tryout didn't think I could do it, but I proved them wrong. I shouted them down, and at Battleground, it's going to be the toughest battle of my career. It might not be a Disney movie, but every ruler falls. I'm hard of hearing, but the fans are going to hear the 1, 2, 3 at Battleground loud and clear when I become world champion. Big pops for both guys. Borne goes to leave, and then LFG's Jasper Troy appears out of nowhere, who's nearly as big as Oba Femi.
Yeah.
So fair play in how they kind of obscured that a little bit. He looked big backstage, but pretty much same size as Oba Femi, just absolutely decks him with like an STO type thing. Borne comes into the ring as Troy decides to bail, and then Borne offers Oba Femi a hand up, which Oba Femi slaps away, doesn't need it, but Myles Borne picks up the NXT title, has the cliched kind of lingering look at it.
Yeah, what does that mean?
And then hands it back over to Oba Femi for the segment to end.
Yet again, what is pro wrestling's malfunction? Numbnuts with this goddamn. Oh, well, here's the next direction after this one is going exactly the way you think it's going to go. Really, 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 truly annoying. But, and this is a weird way to approach it, right? But I watched, I was just having my lunch, a little lunch break there earlier today. Instagram Reels, just my brain is mush now. Give us 10 seconds and I can pay attention. And it fed me a new Jack Smoky Mountain promo.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, God, everything in wrestling's even worse and more synthetic and formal than that I even thought possible 5 seconds before watching this. God damn it, it's the best.
Yeah.
And I still recall this being very good, even though my already low opinion on a lot of modern pro wrestling was putting a bin after watching that.
Yeah.
No, like, it's one of those where it's such a nice, rousing message, well and admirably delivered, that he could do this for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm still like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll go with you every single goddamn time. Go to war with him every time.
And I think that's why they've let him do as much of this stuff. There'd be that old way of saying, like, you can't say all these lines yet because this is your first title shot and you're going to lose. You need some of these for that day when you're going to enter your first Rumble, whatever it is.
He'll probably do it again.
He will. He'll do it again and again and again. And I think it'll continue to work. He's going to feud with Charlie Dempsey at some point because they've built in that dissension and whatever. I almost like that they've let him go as hard in for this because it is a title shot. He should think he's going to win the title
exactly.
on Saturday.
Ergo, I might think I'm going to buy some near falls here.
Yeah,
because I kind of it would be class if you.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think he's going to win. But then I didn't hate I've already forgotten his name. Troy Jasper. I didn't hate that Jasper Troy. Sorry, I didn't hate that segment like that attack. I didn't need the belt theatrics. Afterwards.
No, I never need that.
But, like,
I never need that, bro.
Come straight for Oba Femi. They've immediately highlighted. The guy that's won LFG? He's massive. Like, it wasn't the worst exhibition of him.
This have waited a week. If it's like, all right, okay, I got some lovely near falls out of Myles Borne, Oba Femi. It went the way I expected it to go, but my God, was I doubting it at the end.
Yeah.
And then Oba Femi needs something to do on NXT next week. What the hell is this?
None of us would have called that.
Second giant.
Yeah.
That would have been good.
Oh,
I might have praised NXT.
Well, I think you're about to praise NXT now, Sidge, because we're going to Ava's office, where I guess Stevie Turner and
Robert Stone
have managed to find and corral Ethan Page and Ricky Saints, because they're both either side of Ava's ginormous presidential desk that she now has, and she's very high. She says, "Sit down." Sorry, I can't do an Ava. How would she?
She was shouting a little bit this week. Sit down.
They sit. Saints wants to destroy Ethan Page. Ethan Page is like, I want to end your life. I love you being a living hell. And before they can even have a rational conversation, they both stand up and get angry. So Ava's are like, I'm the one that makes matches here, not you.
I'm the one that makes matches here, not you guys.
I'm getting really pissed off.
I'm getting really pissed off now.
So she has to stop them trying to make each other's lives a living hell. And she says that even though Shawn Legacy's got the title shot, it's going to be you two on NXT first, and then Shawn Legacy can have the winner, and I don't care if you tear each other apart now. Get the hell out of my office.
Get the hell out of my office now.
The awfulness of this segment needs to be seen to be believed. Fair?
Yes, okay.
I know people that watch this podcast may not watch NXT alongside it.
Why would you?
I feel that's a safe assumption. You got to see how bad this is.
Right, okay.
And it's not just Ava.
No.
She sucks.
She sucks.
She always sucks.
This was it's a level above Ava who sucks. A level above it's not hard in terms of acting, right?
Yeah.
This would be sort of, if you're going through the tiers of bad acting and all the rest of it, right? This would kind of be wrestling's equivalent to something that insisted upon itself, that gets made by a well-financed, production company and studio, but it's it thinks it's mint, but it's not. It's competent enough to think it's mint.
Mm-hmm.
This felt like, hey, honey. I don't know where I'm going with this.
I'm excited.
Hey, honey, how you doing? I'm actually pretty good. How was improv class? Oh, my God. I've been struggling. My coach has been on my ass. But I really nailed crosstalk tonight, honey. Honey, I'm so proud of you. Thanks for being my rock. I don't know. It's just,
I want to live in that world. I want to be in that house. I want to sit in the living room while they cook dinner together.
Yeah, he's helping out.
Their days.
I've already sweated the onions, honey, but
I can see the kitchen island now. Big screen TV.
Yeah.
Bedroom for sex. Very regular sex.
Very regular sex.
Very regular sex.
Yeah, they're at it like rabbits.
You've transported me, Sidge.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I kind of middle class, middle America, brown walls, but nice brown, not 70s British brown.
Yeah. Nice brown. We had 70s British brown in my house.
Yeah, me too. Classy brown. Classy mid-2000s brown. Grey's Anatomy brown.
Yeah.
They're beautiful people.
They're really hot, aren't they?
I can't wait for next week's NXT review to find out what happens next.
Honestly,
week,
I've got
guys.
like 2 bits, like
He's gone to improv
the
class.
increasingly vulgar
Yeah.
Andre Chase, and now the improv class, because it was like
You've got this like Nescafe advert stuff, you know, where people like were in love with that Nescafe.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
It's never really about the coffee.
Yeah,
It's always
yeah,
about shagging.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like he's been to improv class, but like, what's her next day at work? You've got me like.
Oh, we'll see next week.
Oh my god.
When we had the adventure again, but it felt like, you know, when like they've just. So you nail a level of, you can do 1 or 2 things more than the rest of the people who can't act at all.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you think you're amazing at it. Like that cross-talk of like, guess what? You haven't finished speaking yet, but doesn't mean I have to wait my turn, you know?
So like, because they are allowed to cross-talk a bit as opposed to the other NXT automatons who have to say exactly.
And where I've got this in my head, because Will Bourne said it's one of his pet hates yesterday, because obviously he's got a background in it.
Yeah.
But so that might have been stuck in my head when I did that, because this felt like someone who's inordinately proud of kind of doing something that people who are really good at something can just do. But like, you know what I mean? I felt like Ethan Page probably went backstage and went, yes, it wasn't even my turn to talk. Yeah.
Kind of showing off to
This
all
was
the ones.
just like the fake intensity and the screaming, and oh god, this was pretty cringeworthy.
There was a pullback and all the other wrestlers were made to sit and watch and then had to like clap at them.
Yeah.
Like the adult hockey team beating the kids in Stanley's Cup.
Yeah.
Ethan Page and Ricky Saints at the adult hockey team.
That's how it's done.
That's how it's done.
Follow that mother.
Shawn and the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Speaking of big applause, we go to Tony D'Angelo, the big go-home promo before his match with Stax at Battleground. He says, I didn't ever really think about this. He says, the worst thing about betrayal is when it happens from your family and friends. Well, I never thought about it like that before, Tony. What else? You're going to get betrayed by your enemies.
Oh my god, I can't believe it, honey. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't know. It's had a real bad day at work, you know. Come on, honey, you can talk to me. You can always talk to me. I'm your rock. I'm always there for you. God damn it, I got betrayed. What? Who hurt you? Just some jagoff cut me off in traffic. Well, now, honey, that's not quite the same thing. That's not really a betrayal. Shut up! Shut the hell up! I got betrayed today, and I'm coming home to this crap. It's gone wrong a bit.
I thought everything was fine with him.
Nah, it's gone wrong, man. Got betrayed at work, but she didn't really see it's a betrayal.
I thought they fixed all this on vacation.
No,
I didn't realise
no.
things. Oh.
Things are going on great. Because he thinks it's a betrayal, just like Tony D.
Yeah.
You get cut off in traffic, but it's not really a betrayal because a betrayal has to be someone close to you, you know? And that's what she was trying to get across.
A jerk off, cut him up in traffic.
It was a
on the way
jag
home.
off.
A jag off.
A jag
from
off.
improv class. Yeah. Got cut up in traffic.
Shut the hell up.
I hope these two can work out.
Well, this guy
It's
seems
for
like a
next
nasty bit of work. Like, you know, everything on this.
The brown
everything on
walls
this-
are actually obscuring that, like, on the outside and the exterior to the other neighbours.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I wish we were like
But you haven't
those
had the
two.
pan out yet because it's the whole cliche, you know, the white picket fence and
Yeah.
the freshly mowed grass. But inside it's darker. That's why it's brown.
I thought it was to denote warmth and colours. I didn't know. Brown's a powerful colour in that regard.
Yeah, it
And
is.
that's why Shawn picked it for his trousers that time.
Yeah.
This is literally every episode of Mad Men or Desperate Housewives. That you've just put in one podcast.
Yeah.
Incredible. Hey, look, it's an idyllic scenario, but it's actually really dark. Brown like the walls of this podcast.
It's a composite of both those shows, but it's me and Sid, so it's just desperate men.
Desperate Mad Men.
Tony D can't get in his head why Stack's turned. This is really funny, right? So like he's doing the thing where like it's the recap of the whole thing where he goes like way too deep into describing his personality traits. It's like you tough as nails, loyal to a fault. The two of us, we ruled the family, but apparently that wasn't good enough for you. I guess you wanted to be a shot caller. And then it would like cut to scenes in the restaurant that we've seen before where they don't really have the B-roll to show you when Stax was like planning the turn.
Yeah, I know.
So, like, I guess you wanted more from the family, and it's just that sort of.
Just eating some ravioli.
There was no like sinister face or anything. I guess you wanted more. Pasta. Like there was no, they didn't have the. They weren't armed with the footage until the actual attack at Stand and Deliver. Like I get it now, Stacks, but you don't get it. You're selfish. You've got guts, but no brains. You've made your bed, and at Battleground, you're gonna have to lie in it when. This was proper Fred and Walker. You're gonna have to lie in it when I break your face. Yeah, that's how that. Right. Always one too far.
Always one too far.
So he's going to lie in his bed and get his face broken. Still no on the show, no Luca Crucifino.
That was a flashback to the...
Yeah. As you've pointed out, it's not that... It's a hop, skip and a jump for Riz's face. The Riz face to just become like a heel one rather than a sad one. They're all turning on Tony.
Yeah. He's gonna be.
Tony's getting chased out the territory.
They're all rats, Michael.
He's gonna have to like his main roster call up because he's been chased out the territory and the mafia.
Yeah.
Tony Wrestler. I had a paste, but I'm trying to break good and raw.
Yeah.
That's his whole deal. Like all the mafia stuff, just given to Stacks and Riz. So anyway, big match at Battleground. I'm excited.
I'm gonna watch it. I am gonna watch this.
It's the D'Angelo Cinematic Universe, isn't it? So.
Monday night, I will do Double or Nothing in Monday morning, and then into that, and then I'll treat myself to this at night time.
Because you're just watching Saturday Night's Main Event live. The big Ron John.
I'm gonna have to watch that, aren't I? Watch some crap, the old mattress.
Never have to. You get to. I keep telling you, you get your words wrong. You get to watch it. Lola Vice versus Fallon Henley next. This was set up when Lola Vice was mocking the fact that Fallon and Jacy Jayne can't get along at all anymore. And like to be fair to Jacy Jayne, this was a match because her job is to pull all of her faces at ringside. Yeah. 1 minute she's like, "Hey Fallon, you're doing really well," and Fallon's in control. And when she's not, it's like, "Fallon, you stupid idiot, stop sucking ass." Yeah. And that's the story of the match. Fallon keeps trying to get advantage, but Lola Vice just keeps out wrestling her. She's got all the various submission counters and the like. And whenever Fallon's going over to the ropes, Jacy Jayne's like, "Come on, get your ass up off the ground. You suck now," and all this. They're not long for this world, them two.
No, they make it quite obvious.
Jasmine, it's really nailed on. Jasmine Nix has been just like taken out of this story with no explanation, which was the best for these NXT wrestlers. So I'm not sure what's happening there, but these two at least just cannot get it together. Fallon Henley's trying to get control at various points. She takes a bit of the heat in the middle, but Lola Vice takes back over. Loads of forearms, does the big rapid fire kicks in the corner, hits her with a hip smash, massive pump kick to Fallon Henley's back. She can only get two. Fallon Henley manages to take back over, and what happens there? So Jacy Jayne gets onto the apron and she's like mouthing off to the referee. That distracts Lola, who has Fallon with a waist lock. But Fallon gets shoved into Jacy Jayne. Them two collide. There's a back fist from Lola Vice, and that's the win for Lola. And after the match, and I thought there was a little bit of, they were trying to show a bit of same but different with another team on the show.
You think?
I think so. I think that was by design.
Oh, right, okay.
Or bad agenting. Maybe
Who
a bit
knows?
of both.
Who knows?
But like, so in this one, the two partners collided and then they were just bickering after the fact.
The company that gives you an interference in every match might not get away with it for me. I can't remember this.
The match wasn't a lot of much. It was for the story of the split, wasn't it? Yeah. There was a vignette where I wish Will Borne was here because he does, as you say, he goes into like the only time we ever get serious mode. Will Borne is when he's typing word for word an NXT promo.
Yes.
I haven't done that. But DarkState do this promo. I haven't even got a frigging match. Are they already finished or what? I don't know. But like, they're doing basically when you had the family one where it was like, and of course, Dion Lennox had a 6.0 grade average. We can't forget Shaquan Sugar's tackling record or whatever like that.
When at Harvard.
Yeah, now they're doing the...
Why didn't he accept? Don't know.
You've got all the information and none of it at the same time. Maybe I'll have to kick out the family. Finish that pasta.
Yeah.
He was a real slick city kid.
Slicker Jones. Slick City Jones. That was the first time we met the little guy in there.
He's trying to get out, wasn't he?
Hello. There he is.
Whoa, gotta catch him.
He's fine.
He's gone, he's all right.
This little guy who lives with me.
You just know They thought this device was so clever. So it starts with Saquon Sugars, who is by far and away the best promo in this entire group, might make something of himself. And he's like, he's just like saying hard lad words, like tougher, more dangerous, blah, blah, blah. That's right, I'm talking about Dion Lennox. And then like Dion Lennox steps into shot, pulls down the mic, a graphic comes up, in case you weren't aware, Dion Lennox. Like just they all get labeled by this video package that like Kyle O'Reilly
Sometimes
put
these
together
used to be introduced.
Yeah. Can we do that bit again? And I wasn't in shot. Another introduction basically. And then Dion is like sort of like dangerous, like the last act of Desperate Man, nothing to prove. That's right, Cutler James. And that each time they think it's so great, they're using it to tee up the next guy. Cutler James does it. He gets all the way back round. So he's teed up Saquon Sugars. And then like when DarkState strikes, nobody's safe. Are you scared? I'm scared.
No.
Oh. So you said
Sugars is good.
Sugars
Sugars has got something. He's definitely got something.
Rest of them. Oh.
2 more things on the show, isn't it?
Yes.
Good.
Kelani Jordynne versus Zaria for number one contender spot, I guess, for Battleground if Kelani Jordynne wins. This is actually all right. Like, I thought this was one of them better Kelani Jordynne nights where the extra flips and the extra bounces are actually for a purpose. There's like all the various points
most of the time
using her athleticism to counter out of Zaria's power.
Zaria kind of kicked her ass as well.
She knocked her about the ring a lot.
Kind of gnarly.
Awesome running cannonball move at one point. The good chemistry. I think there was good matchmaking here. They're different
good
skills.
Contrast.
Yeah, their different skills meshed well. So like Kelani Jordynne realised at the early doors that the power game was going to take her down and take her out. So she was constantly having to counter out of it with like various flips. There was a point where like Kelani went for this pretty cool looking Rana on the apron, and Zaria did the Liv Morgan elimination chamber thing where she just catches her and just drives her at the guardrail. All power, all gas, no brakes. So everybody's saying now.
Yeah.
So it looks like Zaria is in control as we come back from the break. She's sort of playing situational heel within the match. And Sol Ruka's support. Again, it's the contrast to the JCJ one. She's just in full support of her on the floor. And rather than negging her when things are going wrong, it's almost like she's scared of what Zaria might be able to do. Yeah. Zaria's got this.
Don't hurt me.
There's a point earlier in the match where Zaria and Sol Ruka nearly collide, but they don't. And
Sol Ruka's face is a bit much at times. But this is NXT, so that goes without saying.
Yes. They nearly collide, and Zaria's like, oh no, you're right. Sol Ruka gets back to the floor. Okay, we're fine. And that allows Kelani Jordynne back into the match. She does it a really cool. She uses a handstand to evade a Zaria charge and then kick her in the head as she's doing the other side of the handstand. I thought like that's the opposite of sometimes when she just does
stuff,
extra cartwheels for no reason. That was pretty cool. Heading into the finish, Kelani
put the cart before the horse wheel.
Yes.
What does that expression mean?
The cart before the horse means doing the unimportant stuff before the important stuff.
Correct. Putting the cart before the horse wheel.
Yeah. Would cartwheel before the horse be better here?
Yeah, probably. A bit less strained.
Sometimes funnier though. So they're both working away.
We'll do that. We'll do that now. Cartwheel before the horse.
Cartwheel before the horse. So yeah, she didn't put the cartwheel before the horse as much this week.
Yeah, she often does.
Aye. Zaria's got it's after that like awesome running cannonball thing she does. She's got.
What is it, Nicholas?
Cart before the horse wheel.
The Grand National is like 40 horses. They've all got wheels instead of shoes. They're all just driving at the same pace. Who's going to win? What we got? Oh, yeah. So somehow Zaria finds herself on the apron. Kelani goes to kick her off, and Sol Ruka catches her. Well, again, we nearly got attacked again. Whew. But Kelani sees her opportunity this time. Baseball slide drop kick knocks Sol Ruka and Zaria over. Zaria's clearly more worried about what she's done to her partner, Sol Ruka. But Kelani's like, nah, in you get. Gets in Sol Ruka's face. I'm going to take your title on Sunday and watch me beat your friend now. And she does, ultimately. Zaria has one last charge at Kelani Jordynne. Kelani moves out the way. Zaria yet again hits Sol Ruka, and Kelani Jordynne gets the roll up and gets the title shot against Sol Ruka. It's a rematch of that controversial flippy match from last year. I quite enjoyed this.
Yeah, no, it was gnarly.
Yeah.
Gnarly. I think like Zaria, if you can just ignore her a bit, has really got something.
Yeah.
Really got something. Jordynne, I can actually, you put her in situations where she looks sympathetic, and that to me is so much more important. So it's like more about motion than moves, guys. God, stop being like this. But you know what I'm saying.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. What I like about this, it's so hard to be earnest on this one, isn't it?
Oh, God, I know.
It's like a challenge. I was going to say something like, just some praise, some earnest praise of things I think and feel, but I can't without like going back to that couple in the house and wondering what's going on.
Yeah. We can find out next week.
He's lashed out.
Got a double episode today, but you'll find out next week.
Last legend out, so we don't know how that's going to turn out. Yeah. I hope they're all right. Because they've done the I'm the best, no, I'm the best between Stephanie Vaquer and Jordynne Grace, like inarguably top of this division, and like they kind of make this NXT bluster a bit true. Like this match could headline a pay-per-view, and maybe that makes it look like the best women's division in wrestling. It's not, but they like that line. These three.
It's the most women's division.
It's the most women's division in all of pro wrestling. Yes. These three are.
And that's a good thing, to be fair.
A decent.
It really is.
Yeah. These are a decent sort of group to be the underneath pack, the chasing pack. A hierarchy within a division.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I'm watching this thinking, none of these are as good as Jordynne Grace and Stephanie Vaquer, yet all of them show the flashes to be.
Yeah.
And that's what you want from your mid-card title.
Yeah.
It's way, way better booked than the men's.
Oh, exponentially.
Like, to a crazy
Infinitely
degree.
rather.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the main event, and then they run down the Battleground card and announce that it's going to be Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. Like, you were worried that it was going to be on Battleground, so you wouldn't get to talk about it. Good news, it's on NXT next week, so you'll get your chance. Because you, of course, missed out on the chance to talk about it at Stand and Deliver, where there was the big Tony fumbled chant. So Tony Khan will be crying into his coffee.
Can you imagine him? Like, can you imagine any universe where Tony Khan's heard that chant, watched that match, and thought, "Oh God, I really wish I could have them back." Yeah, I mean, how?
No,
not one.
He's got too many wrestlers, isn't he? I was watching a punk.
So it's bloody Paul Levesque now, mate.
You're not wrong. I don't like it. I was watching the Punk press conference the other day, my weekly watch.
A brawl out?
Yeah, all the time watch it. It's what a promo. Like one of the all-time best.
I hate him and it's amazing.
I kept watching as well because like Swerve and Our Glory coming next, and the idea that like all of them are just trying to talk about, great match tonight and we're the tag champions, and then like Toni Storm comes in and she's kind of half in and out of character as she always was, and then like Chris Jericho comes in and whispers something in Tony Khan's ear, and you realise what he's saying has been a massive kick off there. You're going to need to do something, boss. Can I have a new 5-year contract because I think you're going to have to fire everybody.
Who's this?
Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah.
It's like that's a big fight.
Me and Mox will study the ship.
Me and Mox will study the ship
on new terms, and there might be a second ship that gets broken. But who's to say?
Rick and Morty. Me and Moxley, nothing but merchandise to me. Me and Moxley all the way down, and it was down. No, and it was just Tony Khan drinking out of that bottle.
On that,
like
how poor was the timing of the?
It's so weird. He's got this. It looks like a Grolsch bottle from the 90s. It's full of water. Punk's not even said anything. Like, you'd think he'd do like a cartoon spit take, but at this point, Punk said everything.
You know what I've just started to resent, even though I absolutely thought it was a total and utter masterclass of professional wrestling, Quake by the Lakes main event between Mox and Jericho.
God, I love that match.
That match is so awesome.
Love
I couldn't believe how awesome it was.
It's one of my AEW faves, that one. I love that.
I love that match. What leverage it gave them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What unbelievable leverage that match gave them, because it was, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before All Out?
Yeah, it's Punk's return.
Yeah. So about a month before.
The shoulder check that weekend.
Like a month before, and then it's like, right, okay, well, you need us. Look what we did with Quake by the Lake. 5 more years of this. Nah.
It's like a football player playing for a contract.
Yeah.
They're never good again.
Aye. Kennedy for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Remember that, Nicholas?
I do.
Jesus Christ, who did that come from?
Negotiating a 5-year deal off Quake by the Lake.
I know.
Jericho, I'll still be doing this in 2027.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You gotta laugh.
You can laugh at this main event segment or with it.
It's Joe Hendry.
I'm going to praise it a little bit.
Okay, that's that. We've all had some fun. not me watching this. Joe Hendry comes out with his guitar, and it's the usual thing where they don't give him a licensed song to cover, despite having all the money in the world. So will concede that it's kind of set up to fail here. He does one of his little songs about Trick Williams, and it's like I'm in concert and you're going to hear the sound of I Believe in Joe Hendry at Battleground. Trick was the champion of whole of NXT. It's a shame that he couldn't hold the title for more than a couple of weeks.
It's a bit strained.
Yeah, it's a bit scripted.
There's a couple of syllables too many.
Yeah. He used to work so hard, people were with him through the years, but now Trick is the champion of producing tears.
Not a good line.
How we say crying. He's obtained the footage of the good old days when Trick was the sidekick to Carmelo Hayes. Ooh,
that was a good line.
Good line, Carmelo Hayes. That gets the reaction. I didn't mind this bit. Maybe
this was good stuff.
Yeah,
this was
good
stuff.
Maybe because it just gave me flashbacks, like a very happy time as well. You see, really early days, Trick and Mello, when it was Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis. I think it invited them to the Halloween Horror House.
Yeah.
God, 2.0 was the best, and like so. I think it was Lumis, if I remember correctly. Like he just sat there, and they're like, "Go through the door." Ah! It's just Dexter Lumis staring at them. So you see them running. Hendry's just put like an intentionally awful Photoshop of his head with a big smile. And then they go scarpering away. That's good stuff.
There's a good juxtaposition between how deliberately terrible it looked.
Yeah, I like that.
I thought that was a really good bit of comedy, that.
It's the closest to the videos he would do to go along with his parody songs.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah, it would always be like a Hendry mask or like the Drew one. You see like the crying Drew, don't you? Yeah. So yeah, I did like that. And then he says, "You say whoop that Trick. Everybody else says Mello's bitch." And then he repeats that to try and get the crowd to repeat it. And they do repeat it a bit.
Wrestler you were associated with, bitch.
Yes.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit too much. But I mean, if it gets a pop, it gets a pop.
Yeah, that's it. The crowd like laughed enough, and they did. It's a bit like the average Joe. Like, the repetition got the fans in that building to just
the seals and the parrots that they are.
Do the thing, please, that we've asked you to do. Trick comes out. He says, "Yeah, that's all very good, Mello's bitch. Like that's the past. Like you can't live in the past anymore. Keep chanting all you want." But I did hear somebody say average Joe, and like the microphone gets thrown down. They come face to face. Trick hits Joe Hendry with a kick, and he backs him off in at the corner. Now I liked this. So he goes for the trick shot, and Hendry, to be fair, has kind of hidden that he's got this to hand. And Hendry just winds up and leathers him with a guitar in the leg, smashes everywhere.
The Jared fan, and he must have liked this.
Ah, look, class, man. The noise was quality. Like, if you're going to steal from the best. Like, if we're talking about breaking a million guitars and never drawing a dime. Anyway, Joe Hendry smashes him in the leg with a guitar. He says, he stands over him, like Trick selling, and he says, "At the end of the day, I'm the champion of TNA. And then he waves his hands, and show goes off the air with Joe Hendry standing tall, ahead of this historic match. Is this main event? Can't main event Battleground this, can it? Like, it can it. I know it's history. I like
the historical main event.
I like that the TNA World title being defended on a WWE show for the first time ever. Like, I like that little slab of history, even though it's part of a working relationship. But like, this cannot follow Stephanie Vaquer and Jordan.
No, that's your main event.
To fail, aren't you? Like,
yeah, that's your main event. Well, they're over. They're very over. They'll get the reactions.
I'm not convinced Trick's over as a heel. I think it's
done
him damage in the matches. Hendry's mega over. Like, loads of this went. I'm being cynical. Loads of this went. This was doomed to fail, and a lot of it did.
Is someone who, like, writes and stuff. A writer.
You could tell by the.
Very articulate.
Yeah. Ordinarily, I am.
Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, you set the stage for this couple.
Yeah.
I think I speak on behalf of everybody watching that we're like on tenterhooks to where this is
going to go. You don't know how it's all going to go.
Yeah, you do, and that's a writer's mind.
Do I? Like, the verses here were pretty brutal. Yeah. Like, pretty brutal. Like, you've got, I don't know if this was the first draft or he's had a week to prepare for this. The verses were not good enough. Really, they weren't, like, so tortured. I'm like, listening and watching, like,
get to the rhyme.
It's oh god, it's like verse was pretty, like, you know, vintage Joe Hendry, someone's bitch, and he got the crowd going, and that's what he does. Well, I thought that skit with it looked like the PS1 graphic where I kept flickering in and out, like, abysmal. on purpose to
Yeah.
the point where it was like quite a sophisticated joke of like Trick Williams is in fact such a bitch that he is frightened of a barely pixelated Joe Hendry face.
Yeah.
And the fact that there was so much overacting in the original footage, it just worked.
I agree.
It just worked.
Just
legitimately. It was really, really, really well done.
Need we say more?
And you got a glimpse of, and if you want to be like objective and analytical about it, like Hendry's getting his ideas across. Like compare this to the Gala stuff. Like there's this very much a Joe Hendry thing, a measure of his growing influence, the trust that they have in him. I mean, this relationship seems like it's going in one direction, you know? They're going to consummate it.
I'm not just saying this as a Jarrett fan. Like the guitar spot was like a big impact moment for this segment. They had a payoff in mind and they got there with it. And now Trick has got the leg going into the match. And
those verses were brutal.
yeah. But that's potentially the co-main event. Who knows what's going to go on last at Battleground? We'll maybe fit in a preview, but I don't want to promise that because I'm not sure if we can fit it in before the show. But who needs a preview when we're all just as excited as we are? Am I right, Sidge? Are you watching live Battleground?
No.
No.
No, I'd never watch NXT live.
That's how you experience it best. The best way to watch NXT is live. Because otherwise you go online muscle memory and then you see all those stinking liars on X saying it was rubbish.
No, I don't. I'd put Netflix straight on.
Netflix straight off.
Netflix.
Minutes before I check my phone.
Yeah, it is. It's minutes. No one I follow tweets about it really. Maybe the odd person.
It doesn't cut through much, does it? No.
Okay.
Unlike us, of course. And if we haven't cut through to your algorithm, go and look for us because there's lots of great podcasts that you can view on the YouTube channel and indeed on the podcast feed. Sidgwick mentioned them all in the intro, if anything. Some great interviews. The interview with Simon Miller and MXM Collection.
Oh my God.
It's a must watch.
Go out of your way to watch that. It is incredible bit of business.
My kids are asking me every day as well to watch Danhausen in the Big Hat. Because when he puts it on and goes, "Whoa!" That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's unbelievable. So there's some great WrestleMania weekend content going up. There's also the AEW Dynamite preview that we did, the Go Home show for Double or Nothing. There's all the usual Raw and SmackDown content on the YouTube channel. If you want to reach out to us on Twitter, you can do at WhatCulture WWE, where you can also find Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
You can find our fantastic producer, Adam Nicholas, at
It's Adam Nicholas.
And you can find me at Michael Hamflett. Until next time, we will see you soon.